Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT, more than 1,000 people packed in Adair County Church to say goodbye to a fallen firefighter.
We're tracking the search for 3 robbers who held up a video game store while customers were inside.
And a big show of support for a crash victim recovering after being hit by an SUV. Those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens. It's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hey, good morning to you and welcome. It's so good to have you with us as we get this Thursday off and rolling, September 25th, deep in the month. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith, the day before Friday. Yay, it's a good day.
Yeah, it is that. And it's going to be a beautiful day, it sounds like. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. He's in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Looking outside and we're staying clear and calm. How many times have I said that the past 5 to 6 days? It's been around. It's going to stick around the next few days off toward the weekend. It looks great. 49 there in Frankfort. We're at 59 in Jackson. Kind of depends on where you are. And you say, well, the farther north you go, obviously, Mike, you're going to get in the coldest air. Covington's still at 53 degrees. So there's just bits and pieces here of the upper 40s in today's forecast. So toward the afternoon there in the upper 70s. Sunny skies prevail, and it looks like that's going to stick around for quite some time until we hit the end of the weekend. I mean, late off into the weekend. That's when we start to see some changes. A little rain kind of moves on in. And I'll break down that forecast for you coming up in a few minutes.
All right, we thank you. And in the news this morning, we're tracking some crime alerts in Lexington. Police are right now searching for a man who robbed a gas station overnight.
And another who robbed a Good Samaritan. The two happened just a few blocks apart. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live at Speedway with more.
Good morning, everyone. A pair of robberies kept Lexington police busy overnight. The first one happened here at this Speedway on New Circle Road just before midnight. Police say a man walked in, showed the clerk a gun, and demanded money. When he left, he ran back behind the store down Meadow Lane. Officers brought in canine units, but weren't able to track the man down. Police are looking at surveillance video on that suspect. The second robbery happened just a few blocks away around 2:15 this morning. Police say someone driving down Loudon Avenue picked up a man wearing jeans, a hoodie, and black shoes. After a short drive, the passenger pulled out a silver semi-automatic handgun and took $40 and a cell phone from the driver. A canine unit also came out to that scene and tracked the suspect's scent around Meadow Lane and then lost it. Now, even though these two crimes happened in the same area, right now, police do not believe that they are related. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. This morning we're tracking the search for 3 men who robbed a video game store in a violent way as well. Last night, Lexington police say 3 masked men walked into the GameStop on West New Circle with a gun and told everyone inside to get on the ground. We're told they then took money from the register as well as a customer's wallet and a cell phone. Police found the cell phone, but they did not recover the wallet or the money. A man accused of firing shots into his neighbor's car after an argument is back behind bars. 41-year-old Brian Judson is charged with intimidating a witness.
WKYT's Mark Barber is live from the courthouse this morning with more on this story.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Investigators believe Brian Judson acted like he had a gun this week to intimidate his neighbors against testifying from him in court. Now, according to an arrest warrant, a husband and wife who live on the 300 block of Wilson Downing Road called police Tuesday afternoon when they saw their neighbor, 41-year-old Brian Judson, watching their home. The arrest warrant describes him sitting in a chair in his driveway, staring at their home with a hand in his pants, implying he had a gun. The neighbors were already at odds. Police say back on September 1st, Judson fired a handgun at their car several times, riddling the vehicle with bullet holes. We're told he was released from jail last week and was ordered to have no contact with his neighbors. That case will go before a grand jury, and that's why police believe he was trying to intimidate his neighbors this week. One of those neighbors told police she no longer feels safe in her home, so she packed up and left. Judson was arrested yesterday and charged with intimidating a person in the legal process. He is scheduled to appear in court later this afternoon for an arraignment. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. A woman was taken to the hospital after being struck by a car on a busy Lexington road. Police say a man and woman were crossing VERSAILLES at Alexandria at about 11 o'clock last night when the woman was hit by a car. She was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The road was reopened just before midnight. No charges have been filed against the driver.
This morning, more people have been arrested. They're accused of trying to use counterfeit money. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says James Vyers, Linda Alton, and Betty Stewart tried to pass a fake $100 bill at 2 stores before being caught. The serial numbers on those bills match ones found earlier in Somerset and also in Boyle County. Now, just last Friday, police in Danville arrested 3 people from South Carolina who were trying to use fake $100 bills as well. Police also found a sheet of money and tools used to create the fake cash. Danville police have been trying to connect those 3 to some of those cases in Somerset.
Well, a man wanted in a Pennsylvania state trooper's murder continues to elude police.
Pennsylvania State Police say they spotted Eric Freen yesterday from a distance, but he managed to get away. Police have been searching the woods near his parents' home in northeastern Pennsylvania. They say they also found items in the forest. They believe Freen left those behind. The United States and its Arab allies continue to strike ISIS targets in Syria this morning. It's part of President Obama's strategy to degrade and destroy the terror group. Yesterday, the president delivered a game-changing speech before the United Nations General Assembly, appealing for a unified front in the effort. The UN Security Council also unanimously approved a U.S. resolution to crack down on the recruitment and travel of foreign fighters supporting Islamist extremists. And authorities have captured a man wanted in the disappearance of a University of Virginia student. Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr. was taken into custody Wednesday on a beach in Galveston, Texas. Police believe that Matthew was the last person seen with 18-year-old Hannah Graham, who went missing September 13th in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Well, more than 1,000 people packed in Adair County Church to say goodbye to a fallen firefighter. The funeral for Captain Tony Grider was held yesterday at Columbia Christian Church. Grider died Saturday, 1 month after suffering injuries in an ice bucket challenge. Following the funeral, a long processional escorted his body from the church to Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Russell County. Friends say Grider touched many lives and he will be missed.
Tony's precious and the whole family is. He has 5 sweet kids and he's always had a smile on his face.
Helen Richards says Grider deserves this.
In lieu of flowers, Grider's family is asking for donations to Supporting Heroes, the American Diabetes Association, and the National Society for PKU.
Well, most of them have never met him, but customers at a Lexington bar came together last night to help raise money for a man's recovery.
Guam National Guard soldier Noel Espino is still recovering at UK Hospital. Police say former firefighter Jared McCargo backed his SUV into Espino before crashing it into the Beer Trap bar Friday night. To help him and his family with the medical bills, the Beer Trap teamed up with several other local businesses to hold a fundraiser yesterday.
This is a really great, Friday night, Saturday night kind of crowd, and for this to happen on a Wednesday at this hour, it shows a lot about what the community, what the neighborhood's all about.
Other companies like West 6 Brewery and Athenian Grill have agreed to match the amount of money raised by the Beer Trap today.
5:08 our time on WKYT this morning.
It's time to get a look at the roads and see what it's looking like.
Check live drive traffic for you the first time this morning. See what's happening there at Broadway and High Street. It's certainly quiet. No reports of any issues early this morning. Remember, the work is continuing over in Chevy Chase, there where Euclid Avenue, Fontaine Road, and High Street all come together. They're working to remove a traffic island in that area, and there were some backups there yesterday. Anticipate that again today. WKYT this morning, just getting started, and good to have you with us.
History and the mystery at the old State House in Boston. A golden lion perched on top of the building has been hiding a secret for more than a century now. We'll fill you in on that.
It's been looking good the past few days, and look, the next few days even look better, okay? Going in toward the weekend, though, yeah, the end of it, that's when we start to see some rain move on in. And I'll break that forecast for you down zone by zone coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
Looking in Franklin County, Frankfort, you look good this morning, the capital city. Doing all right. And look, this weather has been really, really good to us, and I think it's going to continue to be that way the next few days, taking off toward the weekend. So there's your look outside. And check this out. We're right around 60 degrees down toward the southeast in some locations. And then you have upper 40s in others. So it kind of depends on where you are. That cool air is settling in that western zone in between Lexington and also Louisville. It's just a spot that just doesn't want to move, because if you go over toward the east, then we're talking about mid to upper 50s. So like I said, it kind of depends on where you are. But all in all, still a cool start. If you're working your way out the door, there you are around the lower 50s. A nice morning in store. If you're over toward the west, you're sitting in the upper 40s. But still, no fog, no big issues. Go toward the afternoon. It's a mild day in store. Yesterday we were there right around these temperatures. We'll be a degree or two higher for this afternoon, so you won't feel a big difference outside, but it still is getting warmer, slightly warmer down toward the south. You go from Adair County and also Campbellsville and Taylor County all the way to London, Corbin area, Williamsburg, work your way into McCreary City, or McCreary County, Whitley City, and things are pretty nice. Somerset, Science Hill, we're doing all right, and Stearns this morning looking pretty good. Over toward the east-southeast, Pikeville to Hazard, up toward West Liberty, Sayersville, and then make your way into Frenchburg. Looking good. Harlan, 78 degrees this afternoon. It's getting closer to that 80-degree reading, and maybe even up north, I do expect a couple locations maybe punching out 80 degrees when it's all said and done. So all in all, we are getting there. It's well above average. Around 80 degrees is about 5 degrees above average. So yeah, we're above average now, and it looks to stay that way for, I would say, the next 4 to 5 days. Mild feel there at kickoff. Not a big issue. Still very dry as we head toward the second half. I don't even think you need a coat this Friday evening. Look at the temperatures there on Friday. 79. Some of us will be there in the lower 80s. So during kickoff and the second half, I don't see a cool evening in store. Maybe a light or long sleeve shirt. Yeah, it's a possibility. But light jacket, nah, you won't need it. Saturday, you won't need it either. At 81 degrees. All these events going on. How many festivals do we have this weekend? Past few weekends, this is your time to get those festivals cranking. We got the Sorghum Festival going on in West Liberty. That kicks off tomorrow off into Saturday. And boy, you guys there in West Liberty, Morgan County, it looks good for you guys. Also, Fort Herod Jazz Fest. That should be a blast down in Harrodsburg. That's going to be on Saturday. Good events going on, several more festivals to talk about throughout the morning hours. And either way, it doesn't matter what festival you have going on, you're good to go. Remember, Sunday, it's more during the evening than during the night. So some of these ends to some of these festivals, it should be good during the daylight hours as of right now, but toward that evening, that's when the rain moves on.
Pretty much get the weekend, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Looks good.
Good deal. Thank you. Our time this morning, 5:15. It's been a mystery unfolding at the Old State House in Boston. A golden lion perched on top of a building has been hiding a secret for more than a century now.
Ooh, earlier this month, the statues of a unicorn and lion were removed from the top of the building to be restored. But inside the lion statue, there was a fascinating discovery, a 1901 time capsule. A look at life in turn-of-the-century Boston. The lion could be opened up as soon as next week. That's when the mystery will be solved. After that revelation, historians plan to hide another secret. When the lion gets put back, it will be filled with a time capsule from today. So, always interesting to see what a time capsule has included in it.
Right. The secret is the contents, I guess, is what we'll find out what it holds. Good to have you with us. 5:16 now on WKYT This Morning.
We have a look at your money. Stay with us.
The toy wars just got a little icier, and a preview of some of Sotheby's fall auction items is sure to make your jaw drop. I'm Karina Mitchell, and I'll have those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
Welcome back into WKYT This Morning. It's 5:19. BlackBerry has unveiled a new phone.
And a big chill in the toy wars thanks to the Disney movie Frozen. Karina Mitchell has the latest on your money.
Strong sales of new homes for August helped lift the markets yesterday after 3 days of losses. The Dow soared 154 points while the Nasdaq added 46.5. BlackBerry has unveiled a new square-shaped smartphone called the Passport in Toronto, London, and Dubai in an attempt to gain ground on Apple's iPhone and Google-powered Android phones. The company says the device will be available in the U.S. through AT&T by the end of the year. A big chill in the toy wars thanks to the Disney movie Frozen. Toy maker Hasbro has obtained the rights to make dolls from the hit movie, beating rival Mattel starting in 2016. Hasbro says a new deal with Disney will give it global rights, with the exception of Japan, to develop dolls based on the film and other Disney princess stories, including Cinderella and The Little Mermaid. And Sotheby's previewed some exquisite jewels it's set to auction this fall in New York and Hong Kong. Among the rare treasures, a nearly 10-carat vivid blue diamond from the estate of philanthropist Bunny Mellon, estimated to sell for between $10 and $15 million. Also on the block, a 50-carat heart-shaped diamond and a flawless purple-pink diamond estimated to fetch anywhere from $13 to $15 million bucks. And that's your CBS Money Watch. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
A watchdog report says the Treasury Department approved big salaries at bankrupt companies.
The report says top executives at GM and its former financing arm enjoyed big paydays while their companies struggled to repay the government for a massive bailout. The government sold its last stake of GM last December, but taxpayers came up with about $10 billion short on the bailout. In other words, that amount was not paid back. Meanwhile, the Special Inspector General for the government's Troubled Asset Relief Program says the top 25 employees received cash and stock of at least $1 million in 2013. The Treasury Department responded by saying the report contains many inaccuracies and omissions, pointing out that Congress never established a cap on compensation despite a request from the president in 2009. Oh, there you go. Interesting. Coming up on 522 on WKYT this morning as we check live drive traffic again.
Yeah, looking pretty good out there at Broadway and High. No issues to report downtown.
And we have really no issues anywhere except that construction project in the Chevy Chase area. Remember, they're continuing to remove that traffic island there at Euclid, at Fontaine, and then also outbound Richmond Road as it becomes Athens Boonesboro out toward 104, doing some work out in that area. You'll notice some orange barrels now. And it's good to have you along on WKYT this morning with a lot more news on the way.
And sports is up next.
Basketball news for you with Eric Bledsoe grabbing a lot of cash from the Phoenix Suns at UK football. We've got that for you next in sports.
Autumn and Brooke Miller, happy anniversary to you guys. There we are, Covington. We're sitting at 53, Jackson 59. And then we have a couple of 40s sprinkled in here and there. It's not as chilly as it has been, but it's still on the cool side. Heading in toward the afternoon, slightly warmer. Talking temperatures there in the upper 70s, maybe even sprinkling out a couple of 80s here and there. Here's your pet pick this morning, Mars from Lexington Humane Society. Pretty pup there. And that's at Lexington Humane Society. But remember, all these humane societies around your neck of the woods, your counties, head out there, check them out, get you a nice little pet like Mars.
Out of this world dog, huh?
What is it now?
He's an out of this world dog.
Yeah,
Mars.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good shot right there of Mars.
It
All
is.
right, let's check out sports, see what's going on.
The Kentucky Wildcats have been getting some good play on their offensive line from some young players. Redshirt freshmen Ramsey Myers and Kyle Meadows have both turned in pretty good performances, and so has walk-on Cole Moser, number 74. He started at Florida in place of the injured Zach West, and Mark Stoops feels it's a steal with Moser just walking on.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel like you got a steal. Absolutely. Anytime, you get a walk-on that works his way into the starting lineup and plays effectively, you feel good about that. Of course, we will eventually reward him with a scholarship.
I was really anxious before the game, and then I came out at the first play. Nothing really mattered. It was kind of loud, but other than that, nothing. Did well at times, and there's times where you could tell I was a freshman and young, so I just need to work better on those things, and then it'll come along.
It is a noon kickoff on the SEC Network this weekend. Kentucky and Vandy from Commonwealth Stadium, UK in search of its first league win. since beating Tennessee in 2011. Out of basketball, former Wildcat Eric Bledsoe is staying in Phoenix. He's reportedly come to terms with the Suns for a 5-year, $70 million deal. Initially, the Suns only offered $48 million for 4 years, only 48. Bledsoe was asking for only $80 million, which would have been a max contract. Either side budged in its negotiations until talks finally progressed in the last few days. Bledsoe missed much of last season after undergoing surgery to repair a torn meniscus, but he did average almost 18 points a game. And finally, check out this video posted by Wildcat forward Alex Poythress on his Instagram account. It shows AP flying in over teammate Dakari Johnson's head for a dunk in slow motion, and you can tell. We all know how athletic Poythress is, but that's just pretty incredible. Poythress, Johnson, and the rest of the Wildcats take to the Rupp Arena floor for the first time next month for the annual Big Blue Madness. That is a look at sports. We hope you have a great day.